In this lecture, let's implement adding the task functionality. So how we can implement that? We can add a button here similar to add project. We can have add task button, and when the user clicks that button, a new dialog should appear where the user will be able to enter the task name, and let us add the task in the currently active project, or in other words, in the currently active tab. So let me add a button. We can copy this and add it after this div, that is the tabs div. And let me change this project to task, that is btn add task, and this to add task. And let us style this button a bit. So here, let me copy this, paste it here, and instead of margin bottom, let us make it margin top, because we need to have a gap between the tabs widget and the button, right? And let me also make it a themable button. So let me write it here, $btn add task dot button. This will make it a themable button. Let's see it now. Save, refresh. Okay, now it is appearing at this side. Why? Okay, because we haven't changed the name. Here it is btn add task, right? So let's see it now. Refresh. See, it is appearing here. I think we can increase this a bit. Let us make it 550 and see it. Refresh. See, it is now appearing here. Next, what we want to do, on the click of this, we want to display a new window where the user will be able to enter the name of the task. So similar to the dialog, that is a project dialog, we need to have a task dialog. So let me copy this, paste it here itself, and change this to task dialog, and this to add a task. Here it is task name. Here it should be new task. Here also new task. So we have changed add project to add a task, and project dialog is changed to task dialog, and we have added task name as the label. And what we want to do, we want to display this dialog on the click of this button, right? So let's code it like that. After this, let me make dot click. We can specify as jQuery methods are chainable, right? And let me add the function, and within the function we need to display the dialog. So let me access the dialog window. So $task dialog, that is the ID of the development, and we want to make it a dialog. Okay, and let us have these options for this dialog as well. So let me put curly braces, and within this let me copy up to this. Okay, and we need to have two buttons similar to the projects dialog window. Okay, so let me put it here and add the buttons. So similar to the projects dialog, let me make it an object. Okay, and we need to have two buttons. So the first button should be add new task, and we need to have a function, that is a callback function, which will be executed on the click of this add new task button. And we also need to have a cancel button, and for that as well we need to have a callback function, right? And within this callback function, what we can do, we can just clear the value in the new task text box and also close the dialog. So we can just copy this, right, and make the changes. So within the cancel, I'm going to copy this and change the value of new task text box and close the current dialog. And also in the add new task button, we need to do the same. That is, before closing it, we need to clear the value in the new task text box and then close the dialog. Then what else we want to do? We want to get the currently active project, or in other words, the currently active tab. So if we get the currently active tab, what will be the value? It will be something like this, that is li-ahref hash personal /a/li. This will be the current tab. Okay, and we can get this value and we need to add the current task in the corresponding OL element. So first we need to get the currently active tab. Then we should get the value of this href, because this href value is used as the ID for the OL section. So then we need to find the OL with this ID, and then we should add the entered value like this. So we need to do a number of things in this. So here let me first get the active tabs value. So let me put var active tab equals $projects.tabs. How we can get it? We can specify option comma active. This will give us the value of the currently active tab. Now let's just see the currently active tabs value. Let me just put an alert so that we will be able to see the value. Let me save this. Let me refresh. Let me click this button, add task, and let me just enter TTT just for testing purpose. Let me click the add new task. See, it is 0 now because currently it is personal. Okay, so let me click OK, and it is already closed. Suppose I click this one, add task, add new task, it is 1 now. Now suppose I move this to this side. Okay, and let me click add task. Let me enter some value. Let me click add new task. See, it is still 0. Why? It is not refreshed after changing the position. So what should we do now? Here we should first refresh our tabs. So just to show you that I have done all these. So let me copy from this, and the name of the method is refresh. Okay, so that the latest positions will be available. Let's check it again. Let me refresh. Let me try to move this to this side. Now the value should be 1, right? Now this is the active tab and its position is 1. This is 0, this is 1. So we should get it. Let me click this. Let me just enter something, add new task. See, it is 1. So we should do a refresh before getting the value of the active tab. Let me remove this. Next, what we want to do, we want to get this value, that is this value. So how I can get it? I can use hash main, then li, then nth child of li, which means if I specify li nth child of 1, this will be selected. Li nth child of 2 means this will be selected. That is, nth child is not 0 based, but it is starting from 1. And if we could get the a child within this li and get the attribute value of href, we can get this value. So let me add it here. Here let me specify where title equals $main, that is the ID of the unordered list, and then li. Suppose I specify nth child of 1, it will be the first li. We will replace this 1 with this active tab. Let me show you first this. Then child a. Then what should I want? I want to get the value of href. So I am using the attr method. Okay. Now what will be the value? Let me show you that. Alert title. This is just to show you what will be the value. Let me save this. Let me refresh. Let me click add task. Add new task. See, it is hash personal. This is exactly what we want, right? Okay. Now if I want to get this value, it should be 2. That is li nth child of 2. So suppose instead of 1 or 2, if I specify active tab plus 1, what will happen? This is actually 0 based. So active tab value for this one, it will be 0. So we want it as 1 because nth child starts from 1, right? So what we can do here, instead of 1, we can just specify active tab plus 1, right? So it being a value, what should we do? We need to end this string and here start a new string, and instead of 1, it should be active tab. So plus active tab +1, then again a plus, and let me put this active tab +1 in a parenthesis, okay, for making it more clear. So now what will happen? We will get the currently active tabs href value. Let's get it now. Refresh. Let me click this. Let me click add task. Let me enter something. Add new task. See, we got hash work. So it is more useful for us because we want to get the corresponding ordered list with this ID, right? So we don't have to have this hash again because it is already there. See, hash work means which will be selected? This will be selected. So next what we should do? We should get this one and append the task to this particular ordered list. So how I can write it? Instead of this alert title, I can write $projects because the ordered list is within this projects development, right? Then plus title, then which will be selected. Suppose we click this one, personal, the value of title will be hash personal, right? So this will be hash projects, hash personal, which means the required ordered list. Then I want to append. What should be appended? Let me copy this because we need to have that checkbox and all. So let me copy this and here let me paste it and change this to single quotes. Otherwise it will be considered as closed, right? Again single quotes, then close this, again put a plus, then here again put a plus and start this double quotes, and instead of this the value should be the value entered in the text box. So $new task, that is the ID of the text box, .val, that will be the value in the text box, right? Now it will be added, right? Let's check that. Let me refresh. Let me click the add task and let me specify it as pay the school fee. Add new task. Okay, nothing happened. Why? Let's check the code. Okay, because wrongly I have put it within this. Let me cut it from here. Okay, it should be within append. Here it should be an empty string because this is the code to clear the value in the new task text box. So actually it should be here. It was done wrongly. It should be appended to the ordered list, right? So let's check it now. Let me refresh. Let me click add task. Let me enter the value like pay school fee. Okay. Click add new task. See, it is added here. Suppose I want to add a new task within this work project. Let me click add task. Let me specify it as upload a new video, add new task. It is added. I am able to move it here. That is, it is sortable. Suppose I add a new project. Add project, books to read. Okay. Add new project. It is added. Let me click add task. This is just to show you an error in our code. Test. Add new task. See why nothing happens? Here the issue is this space. In that case, the ordered list ID will not be correctly added. So what we can do is within this project name, we can replace all the spaces with some underscore or some other character. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let me specify where replace name. Okay, and I'm going to replace all the spaces with underscores. So how I can do that? I can copy this, then split it using space and then join it using underscore so that all the spaces will be replaced with underscore. Then what should we do? When we specify href and this one, we can specify this replace name so that this href value and its corresponding ID, that is the matching value, will be without any space. So this is a small error in our code. If we just specify project name for href value and its corresponding ID value, it will not work because of the space. So we just have to replace this one, but the project name, that is the title, should be with spaces itself. So now let's see that. Let me refresh. Let me click add project, books to read. There are spaces. Add new project. Then let me click add task, wings of fire. Let me click add new task. See, it is added. Then one more thing is there. Let me add one more task. Let it be power of positivity. I'm just specifying one name, but I don't know whether there is a book in this name. Okay. Add new task. It is added. Then last one, test Java. Add new task. It is added. Let me try to sort these items. See, these items are not sortable. So what we can do is, when I create the ordered list here itself I can specify dot sortable, so that these will become sortable. That is, the newly added OL elements will become sortable here. Now let's check it. Let me refresh. Let me click add project, books to read, add new project, add task, wings of fire, add new task, add task, power of positivity, add new task, testing, add new task. See, now they are sortable. So when we specify here OL or UL dot sortable, it will consider only the currently existing items. So when we add a new item, it is not considered as sortable. So that is why when we create a project and when we add the OL element there itself, we are making the item sortable, so that when we add a new item, it becomes sortable. Whereas in the existing ones, even if we add a new task, it will be automatically sortable because these items are already existing and we have made them sortable. But this is a newly added tab and these are newly added LI elements within an ordered list. So we have made the ordered list as well sortable when we add the new project and its corresponding OL element. Okay. So now we have implemented adding a project and adding a task. Next, what we need to implement? We need to implement the removal part. That is, when we click on a checkbox, that particular item should be removed from that list. And also we need to have a close icon here, so that when the person clicks that close icon, that particular project itself should be removed. We will do it in the next lecture.